Joining me now is my colleague, Forbes staff writer, Giacomo Tognini. Giacomo, thanks for coming on.
Hi, Brittany. Pleasure to be here.
King Charles is being crowned, and in honor of the coronation, I want you to break down the wealth of the new king. Suffice to say, it's really a good time to be the new king. Can you just break down how wealthy he is?
So we estimated back in September that he was worth at least $500 million, most of that having been inherited from his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, when she died. And that consists of, certain properties that we were able to value again, real estate properties, and then also priceless collection of art, stamps, private investments, and other assets that are much more difficult to value because we have so little information on them.
Sounds like a whole mix of different things, but let's break down what did he inherit when his mother died last year?
So probably the two best known and most interesting assets are the two sort of palaces, pieces of real estate that he inherited from her. One is Balmoral, the castle in Scotland where Queen Elizabeth passed away. We worked with two separate brokers to help us value that property last year. We valued it at around $118 million. And then there's Sandringham, which is an estate in Norfolk in the east of England, where the Queen kept her horses. And we valued that property at around $70 million last year. Then there's the collection of horses. The Queen was famous for her love of horses and equestrianism. There's also the stamp collection, which is, one of the world's finest and most valuable. And then you have jewelry and artwork. Some artwork he likely inherited from Prince Philip, his father. He had a sizable art collection, which was valued at more than $2 million when it was last estimated before his death in 2021. And then there's the financial investments. Much like any other investor or anyone really, they also invested their sort of private cash. That's much harder to estimate, but that sort of comes within that $500 million.
And as the king, he's overseeing the crown's holdings. So can you break this down for us? What does that mean? Is that different than his own personal assets? Would he be able to spend that money?
Yeah, so it's very, very different. In the UK, the crown is sort of this uh, way of referring to properties that are effectively held by the state. Uh, in America, they'd be state-owned properties, right? But in the UK, because of the previous state of the monarchy, owning property, these are assets that the royals do not control. For the most part, they don't have any power over them. They are controlled by public bodies, but they are held by the crown, or in right of the crown, which means that they're in theory held by the monarch for the duration of their reign. And so the biggest portion of that is this institution called the Crown Estate. It's a public body, a massive portfolio of real estate, the seabed around the UK, where they have offshore wind farms, all kinds of different assets. According to its latest annual report last year, it was worth $20.7 billion. The way that works is that basically every year its profits go to the British Treasury, and then there's an agreement under which a part of those net profits is redistributed to the royal family every year. I will go into the details, but they get basically the profits go to the government, and then some of the money goes back to the family. There's also the Crown Estate Scotland, which is a similar body that manages the Crown's assets in Scotland. But I think some of the assets that readers might be most and viewers might be most interested in are the most famous. So you've got the Royal Collection, which includes the crown jewels. That again is one of these assets which is held in right of the crown. So it's not the personal property of the king or any member of the royal family, but it's sort of held by them in right, in trust for the country, as it said as well. The last valuation of that from a couple of years ago was around $13 billion, including the crown jewels, which are estimated at $4 billion. And then we have the royal palaces. So outside of the two that we already mentioned, which are owned personally by now King Charles before his mother, Queen Elizabeth, You have plenty of other castles like Buckingham Palace, the Tower of London, Windsor Castle, which is sort of one of their main residences. We undertook a massive effort to try to value all of these priceless properties, right? It's impossible to know their value because they would never be on the market. None of them can be sold, just like the Royal Collection can't be sold. But we collectively valued those properties last September, again, speaking with real estate brokers, experts who value historic palaces, at more than $10 billion.
Obviously, that's probably one of the most impressive real estate portfolios in the entire world.